Welcome back. Mike Stone is here, and even Stoney in his most negative phase could never rain on the parade that was this weekend.
Oh, what an amazing weekend in Detroit area sports. Just spectacular.
The Detroit Lions now winners of 5 straight football games. It's been
3 straight on the road.
Incredible. I mean, very sloppy at times, and it really made you angry towards the end that they were even in that situation. But overall, perseverant and pretty dominant. Great
game plan, and what shouldn't go overlooked is the way they were able to run the ball, and people didn't think they could run the ball, and stop the run. You know, they didn't have, that much pressure on Josh Freeman. That was the game plan as far as stopping the run, and LeGarrette Blount didn't do anything really, and he was a guy who really hurt them last year. So really good game plan. I thought a little bit too conservative offensively towards the latter part of the third quarter and into the fourth, but other than that, they really played a pretty good football game today.
And so hard for most of us who are standing here in Detroit to really know what it felt like down there, because that weather seemed brutal. The guys were cramping up. It has to affect the way you think, the way you play, your physical ability to actually play out the plays. I mean, that goes into it too.
And the quarter, Stafford, healthy, played very, very well. And you got to give Jim Schwartz credit for that 4th down. They went for it. They touchdown. Great pass by him by Stafford on that. And they win one on the road. Now they come home to play a team that just got killed by Buffalo, Kansas City. So not to count chickens before they're hatched, but they should be 2-0 after next week.
What I also like to see was there were a number of times where the teams made a mistake. Matthew Stafford fumbled a snap early, and they were able to extend that drive. Even after the Peterman bonehead play where he got the unnecessary unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness, as the referee screwed that up too.
Right.
They still went on, and that was where they scored the touchdown. So they overcame things that in years past they weren't able to overcome.
Absolutely. No, they're not the same old Lions. Gotta love that.
Incredible to say.
Yes.
We'll get back to the Lions in a bit because I know you've got something saved up, but the Tigers are looking pretty darn good too. 3 straight divisional sweeps. The magic number's down to 7. It could happen this week.
It'll probably happen in Oakland. I mean, they play 3 in Chicago, 4 in Oakland. It'll happen. And Doug Fister is the Doyle Alexander from 1987. He's been unbelievable. They're getting clutch hitting. I mean, Brandon Inch last night. I mean, come on. A walk-off to win a game. Everything is charm, clutch hits, and they're doing everything great.
When you think about Brandon, he's got 3 homers. 2 of them are walk-offs, and the other one is on the night he came back and joined the Tigers.
Absolutely.
Got a little bit of a flair for the dramatic. Speaking of theater, what about last night? What a ridiculous finish at the Big House.
Unbelievable. And, I'm not going to sit here and say that Michigan's a really good team because their defense has problems. Their offense had problems most of the game. But for theater, it was unbelievable. I mean, first of all, great setting. And to think that you have 3 touchdowns in a minute 12, and Notre Dame, hopefully they'll lose to Michigan State this week as well. But how can a team turn the ball over like they did 2 weeks in a row? And Denard Robinson played really good when it mattered because he was not very good early in the game. And I talked about Jim Schwartz showing some cojones. A lot of people, Kirk Herbstreit, thought they should just set up for a field goal to tie the game. No, Brady Hoke said, let's go for it. They did. They made the play. It was unbelievable. One of the great 4th quarters you'll ever see. I mean, I don't think it was a great game, but it was a great 4th quarter. Great theater, mistakes, turnovers. That's what college football is all about.
And now Michigan State gets their turn to beat up on Notre Dame.
Yes.
I think they obviously go in as a favorite. I think you gauge how they compare to both of these teams based on how they go down there and play next week. It'll be interesting to see Michigan State in that.
Right. I still think Michigan State's definitely better than Michigan. I mean, not just based upon their 2 games, it's just their defense is better. They don't make as many mistakes as Michigan does, but we'll see what happens in South Bend.
I think a lot of people are going to agree with your Stonehead of the Week this week, Stoney.
Again, it's not Brian Kelly. Gosder Cherilus. The Lions are trying to eat the clock. And what do on a big play? You get a penalty that stops the clock that possibly gives Tampa a chance to tie the game? Gosder Cherilus, grow up. You're a Stonehead. And if you don't believe me, I think Jim Schwartz agrees.
Stupid. Stupid. An opponent has no timeouts left, and we get a penalty. That's a situation we talk about that we work. It's stupid football.
That is Mike Stone. You can hear him every Monday to Friday from 6 to 10 on 97.1 The Ticket, and, of course, every Sunday here on The Update. Stay with us. The high school football game of the week. Voting opens. Debut the teams right after this.